Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Isaac Party. It's a game we've played on the channel many, many times. And I'm here today joined by the creator of Isaac Party, Mr. Astropenguin 642.
Yes, hello. My name is Astropenguin 642.
Indeed it is. For those of you that don't know who Astro is, hell, there's a lot of things that Astro has done. He made Isaac Party, which obviously we've played on the channel many, many times. You've probably seen him in Twitch streams, as he's my longest running subscriber on Twitch, which is insanity. Thank you, Astro. He also has made a complete plethora of Isaac mods that I'm sure we'll end up talking about as the video goes on. He's also done work on a game that I can't remember the name of, so he'll end up talking about that later as well. And he's working on a new game himself called Vast Forecast, which he's also going to talk about later. So this man has like many, many accomplishments and also runs a very good YouTube channel that will be linked in the description down below. So welcome, Astro.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
For sure. So how do you we kind of really didn't talk about this at all. How do you want to actually do Isaac Party? Are we racing? Are we just like chilling, hanging out? Or
I kind of just thought it wouldn't be a competition and we were just gonna like play it and just talk during that.
That sounds nice.
And then like if like one of us finishes first or whatever, we can just start up a new run for whatever.
That sounds like a nice, pleasant sigh of relief, because most of the time I'm doing competitive garbage that I end up crying during. So that's fine.
All right.
Cool. So you're on Isaac Party?
Yes.
Okay. Is it weird for you to be playing something that you made?
Yeah, I'm good at it too.
Oh, okay. I'm good at it.
I have the removing meta, which is like see how long you can go and be like really picky about your items.
I'm pretty okay with that. I'm pretty okay with that. So I'm sure that you're very good at the completely random item click to continue.
Yeah, I'm so good at that one. Dude, sometimes I click so hard that it gives me 2 of the items.
Oh, that's even better, dude.
No, that doesn't happen. All right.
All right. I've already like hopped in. I've got marbles and compound fracture and all kinds of garbage. So if you get anything of value, then please tell me.
I
would like to be sad.
Steven.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I have the roulette, and I don't know if you saw my comment on your very first Isaac Party video.
Oh
but
boy.
Whenever you play roulette, it goes way slower than it's supposed to.
What? Really?
Yeah, the roulette is supposed to go like I think 6 images a second or something like that. And for you, you can just click on whatever you want.
Yeah, I always come just like, yeah, this is really easy. I'm just gonna click the one that I want and move on with my day. Apparently, it's not supposed to be like that.
I'm trying to get either shears or pinking shears or stigmata, but it's fast.
I've gotten the opportunity to take the Polaroid like 65 times on this so far, and I'm just gonna continue to ignore it and take a bunch of garbage. Okay.
I have got a second Steven.
It's not bad. Oh, hey, the roulette that's moving really, really slow.
Uh-huh.
Now I know.
All 3 of my items are damage upgrades.
I've got compound fracture and infestation too, and 9 lives. So it's like not bad, but I'm gonna see if I can get Guppy actually.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go with SMB Superfan here. Or Dark Bum. Probably Dark Bum.
I just realized that there is actually a meta on some of these where like it's a shadow and I have to guess the item. If I don't want the item, I just guess wrong. Yeah.
So yeah, the ones where you can just press like 7 or something stupid like that and you won't get it.
Yeah. Okay, I have my run and it's garbage because
I have no
I'm
idea what
dumb.
This is. Well, rip. I'm still going. I'll try to pick up the pace. There's a 2020 and a cricket's head in the roulette.
Oh yeah, okay. I got Lil Chest and Spider Baby, and this man has 2020 and cricket's
so
head.
Bad.
Okay.
I'm so bad.
Sure, yeah.
I just bragged about being good at Isaac Party, and I missed the roulette and got Dad's ring.
Oh, Dad's ring is like an insanely good item. It's
Yeah,
just
it
so
is good. I just
it's
wanted
so
2020.
boring. Yeah, I feel that. Now I remember when Booster Pack 5 first came out and I was going through the items and on the wiki I like read what Dad's ring did and I was like, man, this item is trash. And then I went in game and I was like, oh my god, this item is actually probably the best item in the game, like by a long shot defensively. And then everybody in the comments was like, I don't get it. Why don't you like Dad's ring? It's so good. And it's like, because if you just pick it up, you win. Like, it's an instant win item. And so many people either, like, are on one side of, oh my god, Dad's ring is amazing. I take it every time, so I win. Or there's people that are like, Dad's ring sucks. I don't know why it's good. And I'm like, how do you not see this? Like, and then there's me who doesn't like it because it's good. But that's beside the point.
Does technology work with Flatstone?
Ooh. I'm gonna be honest. Did they ever fix the bug that actually puts Flatstone into runs? Because I'm not positive I've ever gotten it. So.
Do you have all the achievements yet?
Yeah.
Oh, then I don't know.
I mean, maybe I just got insanely unlucky.
I'm gonna remove technology just in case.
Yeah. I have no idea actually.
Okay, then I'll take Apple. No, I don't want the virus for my Steven. Ooh, this one though. Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm trying to speed up, but
Astro, you're fine, my
All
friend.
right.
We got plenty of time for me to drill you and interview you on everything that you've ever known and loved. So
okay, I have
fair
finished
warning.
my Isaac party. I have
All right.
2 Stevens and some other good stuff.
All right. Then how about we break? Let's go set up our runs, and then we'll jump back in.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, we back in our runs, respective runs. Astro and his, me and mine. I'm gonna throw my seed on the screen in case somebody wants to play along on my side. We're not playing the same seed because frankly we just didn't think about it.
Oh yeah.
But that's okay. We don't. Who needs it, honestly? Astro.
Yeah.
One, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay. That's good. Second, I hope you know that I am about to. I have 2 9 lives now. I have 18 lives on this run.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's honestly, I can't say. I mean, I've probably had that at some point in my life, but I can't say I've ever had that recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I hope you know that I'm actually about to just like drill you on your entire life because for those that don't know who Astro is, in short of just like talking him up like he's the prodigal son or something, Astro's a genius at everything, and it amazes me a lot of the time when we'll talk because, you know, like I've reached out to him for a plethora of things now. Like most of Wheel Adventure, I consulted with Astro beforehand. I'm sure that he can attest to this. The Alexa Isaac character mod was made by Astro. So like clearly you have a knowledge and experience for coding and modding and just having your hand in not only the Isaac cookie jar, but just in general the cookie jar of gaming. How in the world did you learn all of this as, like, not to be rude, but a young lad? Like, you're not exactly 35 years old. I don't remember exactly how old you are, so I don't want to.
I'm 16, 17 in less than a month. I hate to be the guy that's just like, well, I'll be older soon. But yeah. Also, you're talking me up as this some sort of genius while I take meat from the boss item while we're from the boss room while we're playing Isaac Party, because of course I do.
I almost took my boss item as well, and then I was like, I can't do it.
I removed it, but I can't remove the HP.
I'm really, really confused because I have breakfast in my devil deal right now, and I very clearly did not have a mod on that put breakfast in.
Do you have chaos?
No, I don't. I'm really, really confused. I'm just gonna roll with it. It's whatever.
Well, I'll answer the question finally.
Yeah, please.
So, when I was in 3rd grade, I was hauled out of like this one class. I forgot what class it was, but it was like some class that I was just steamrolling. But I was hauled out of this one class, and someone who worked at the local college, like was assigned to teach me, you know, Scratch, right?
I've not actually. So Scratch was, even though you're not that much younger than me, Scratch was kind of before my time. I never had the experience of Scratch, so.
Well, yeah, so Scratch is basically programming, but, like, not. And, I was, like, in 3rd grade, I was hauled off to learn this because they thought it was a good idea for me to learn that. And, I didn't get it at all. And, so eventually, like, the class that kind of stopped, and I didn't do that anymore. But, like, I came back to it and, like, self-taught myself Scratch, and I have been using it for, like, the past 9 or so years. But, obviously, Scratch has limitations, and also it's garbage, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd like to eventually stick in here that, like, if you're looking to be a game dev, do not create your games in Scratch, but...
Don't do what I do. Don't even start in Scratch. Scratch is hard, okay? I just like it because I've been using it for so long.
Yeah.
But, anyways, like, eventually when I figured out that this dumb website has limitations and you can't do everything you want on it, I decided to learn, I guess, like, I was into Isaac at the time. I can't remember if I started on GameMaker or Lua first. But anyways, I just, like, did more stuff, and I'm pretty much completely self-taught.
That's crazy. Like, I know that I can say that that's crazy, and people will be like, oh yeah, I'm sure that Tyler is over-exaggerating how impressed he is by this just for the sake of the video and the recording, because Tyler always overemphasizes things when he's recording. That it's actually insanity to self-teach yourself how to program. Like, I've taken now, like, I don't know, 10 programming classes, like university programming classes in my life, and Astro still has me on programming by like a long shot. I can't even imagine doing some of the things that he does, and that's like legitimately insanity, especially at your age. Like, I don't want to bring the age card into it because I'm one of those people that believes that, one, everybody should be learning the code at, you know, a young age to begin with, you know, teaching Scratch in schools at a very young age, because where I'm from, they don't, like, at all. Programming is not something that's taught in schools. It's not mandatory. It's not even expected for anybody to do it, and it's ridiculous, in my opinion. But to be able to self-teach yourself that is... it's incredible, like, legitimately incredible, and I'm not exaggerating that by any sense. So, major props to you, because I know I sure as hell can't do it, and don't really know anybody else that's doing it, so that's a little bit crazy. So, okay, so moving on, obviously you started doing game dev related stuff at a young age. What was, like, your moment where you went, this is something that I can legitimately do? Like, when did you realize that this was more than just, like, what I'm doing is something special that other people aren't doing?
I had that epiphany, like, 7 times, because every single time, I'm like, oh, what I was doing before is absolute garbage. What I'm doing now is great, and that happens so many times.
Oh,
where
always.
I just, like, where I just, like, step up from what I was doing, even though it's just, like, improving, but I feel as if it's, like, a new era or something like that.
And that's completely understandable. I mean, that's everything in life to some extent. It's like, you know, I play basketball. There's moves that I'll do where I'll go, you know, I couldn't do that a year ago. And back then I was like, man, I'm getting really good at basketball. And then I look at now and I'm like, well, why the hell did I think that when I couldn't do, you know, X, Y, and Z? So that makes a ton of sense.
I'm actually so mad at myself. I just took the piercing shot item.
Nice. I'm a good boy. I haven't taken any items. I'm on the depths 1 and I'm rocking the exact same loadout I had at the beginning plus a breakfast that I took from that I took from somewhere. Not a Bevel, but
I have Small Rock and Acid Baby from a beggar.
that's not bad.
And then my starting run.
Acid Baby is growing on me. I used to think it was garbage, but it's growing on me. It's more useful than people give him credit for. But
yeah, as long as you use pills.
yeah, well that's kind of the caveat that a lot of people don't want to do. But okay, so you had this epiphany a million times. What was the first product that you made that you can say was like your starting point? Like, and I'm not saying like, oh, I made, you know, Hangman in Scratch. Like, what was the first thing that you made that like people started to use and you were like, this is good?
If you're not gonna accept Scratch still,
yeah, I'll accept Scratch, but it has to be like, it's gotta be used by people.
I still get notifications on Scratch for a project that got featured like forever ago, and I'm still kind of proud of it, but I won't let that be the answer to the question. Also, I'm stuck.
You're stuck.
I'm stuck.
10 out of 10, Isaac.
Dad, okay, so you know the guys that spit out maggots?
What floor are you on?
I'm on the caves to catacombs.
Okay.
And they're like they like spit their heads out through their stomachs, and they do a full heart of damage.
I don't know why this ain't ringing a bell at all.
You know the guys that do brimstone, right?
Yes.
Oh god, okay. I'm free. Oh my god. Hold on. Okay.
I feel like this is like the run of your life over there right now.
Basically, Dad's ring trapped me inside of the things that they were firing.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. Sorry. Basically, it was a project that was a copy of a Super Meat Boy boss, but it was like way more in depth. Like there were like multiple attack patterns and all that. But if you want to like discard Scratch,
I'm not gonna be the one to sit here and hate on Scratch.
I hate Scratch too. Don't worry about it. But like I was still proud of that, just because of like overcoming limitations.
That's cool.
But first thing I did that people started using outside of Scratch, like real programming, is probably just Isaac modding, because like even though I've been doing it for a long time, I haven't been doing it for a lifetime. So
yeah, which is fair.
Yeah.
So then I have to ask the age-old question here. What is your favorite mod that you've made?
My favorite mod I've made is the Starfy Transformations mod.
Okay.
And basically just because it feels the most polished out of all of them, even though it's not like... I think it might be my most popular, I'm not entirely sure though. Yeah, it is. but like, still, it just feels the most polished, and it was like... Starfy is one of my favorite games of all time, so it was like really cool to see that become a thing in Isaac, even though I was the one that did it for the most part.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I remember playing the mod. I remember enjoying the mod. I remember literally spawning the items to get the transformations on each floor. It was a lot of fun.
I play with the mod on all the time, and I never get the transformation.
I feel like that's like... Yeah. That's me whenever, like, so when I used to do the modded road to 1,000,000 and stuff like that, I'd put all these mods on. They'd lag my game to eternity, but then I'd never get any of the modded items. I'd be like, well, what the hell am I doing here? I'm trying so hard to be modded, and then the game just does not want to give me anything. And then I have on the mods that are like, oh, higher chance of modded items, and it's like, they're still not showing up whatsoever, and I'm like, okay, well, another episode, another comment section is mad at me because I named the series modded and then there no mods have showed up. But
I believe there are mods that remove a pretty good amount of base content just to like make mods a little more in there, but I still see what you mean.
Yeah. Like here's what I want. Hint hint. I want no, I'm just kidding. Here I want a mod that like picks and chooses what like takes the fun items from the game and keeps those, and then anything that's like garbage gets rid of it. Because the huge mod packs, the problem with them is.
Oh yes.
Oh, do you have acid baby? You're good.
I mean, yeah. But like, just a mod that removes some of the more
removes garbage
fun
crap.
items.
Yeah, like no one needs on a highly modded run where you got, you know, Revelations and Alpha Birth and all these other great mods that are out there. You don't need Spider Baby to show up. Like, you know? I just feel like there's so much potential in some of these bigger mod packs that you can build runs entirely off of just their modded items, but then you still need like some vanilla stuff in order to make it work.
The vanilla items are kind of inflating a lot of mod items, not just because of the quantity, but just because they aren't as original sometimes.
Yeah. See, and that's so I always, you know, not to sit here and talk with a modder and then talk up a different mod, but one of my favorite mods on the workshop is the More Mushrooms mod. And it's weird.
Never seen that.
Okay, well, the More Mushrooms mod is great. And for a very, very weird reason. Because the majority of the mod is just random stat upgrades. Like, I'm pretty sure that I could code 90% of that mod. Just by looking at how to make an item with stat upgrades.
But that's important, though.
And it is. And that's exactly my point. Like, all of these mods will add items that are like, you know, when Isaac gets hit on the 4th time on the 3rd floor of this scenario, and you're like, okay, well, this is just never gonna happen. Or it's so like weird that no one's ever gonna care to make it happen.
Yeah, the stat upgrades, like the original Binding of Isaac, the Flash version, has like 20% stat upgrades. And it's balanced, especially since they're boss items, because you actually get stats on almost every run.
Yeah.
And if you play like a huge, heavily modded run with like no stat upgrades, it's gonna be fun for a little bit until you start not dealing any damage.
Yeah, and that's like the mods that, and I have one off the top of my head, but I'm not gonna name it for the sake of being a kind human being. But the mods that will put their items into like the boss pool just to have them show up more, even though they're not a stat upgrade, I'm like, man, you really need to do that right now? Like, I really don't need to get
it's like, I need some stat items.
Yeah, it's like
your fun modded item in my boss pool.
That's exactly it. And then sometimes it's like a bad item anyway that they just put in the boss pool, and you're like, okay, come on, I really this is not what I need right now. But all right, enough on me ragging on other mods. I like the More Mushrooms because it was the perfect mod to put into with other mods that gave you like, and the other thing I liked about it, it had where the items were not only stat upgrades, but it was here's a stat upgrade, but then here's a downgrade and a different stat while you're at it. And I feel like there's none of those in the game.
Or like items like Dogtooth that are like small stat upgrades, but they also do something neat.
Exactly. Like, those are the best items for me. Like, everybody, when Booster Pack 5 came out, they were like, man, worst item in this booster pack is definitely divorce papers. Like, do we really need another Tears Up? And I'm like, yeah, we do. Honestly, we need another one. I was so happy when I saw that, and it was just like, this is a stat upgrade that gives you a bone heart. I was like, this is the best item. Like,
yeah.
I was so happy.
But yeah, oh my god, I'm getting hit. But yeah, I agree with pretty much all of that.
That's great. I'm glad we're on the same page on this, because I feel like sometimes, you know, like, I'll talk to Penta, and he has a different opinion on things, because in his opinion, there's too many items in Isaac. And I can agree to some extent, but I'm still somebody that's like, you know, I see Repentance coming out, and I go, okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy that there's going to be like another 50 items in Isaac. I got no issues with that. or even more if they actually fully port Anti-Birth over. And we'll talk about that here shortly. But
Ooh.
I like the idea of more items in Isaac. It's just there's some items that get added, I feel like, just to, in the booster pack note, say that, hey, we added 20 items. When
exactly.
really you could just add like 5 items of value and then call it a day. But
Yep.
yeah, I'm dead, but I have 17 more lives, so so no worries. I kind of forgot about that.
I know I made the rules, but I totally forgot. Can you black rune item rooms?
I am okay with black ruining item rooms
Okay.
because it's not taking the item; it's stealing valuable things from the item. So
Well, it's the beans, so.
yeah, in that point, you know, you're not stealing too much anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on, as there's still like way too much to talk about. Are we going
This is
chest
unfair.
or dark room?
This is unfair. Okay.
What'd you do?
There was a room that I did not have enough speed to beat, but I got through it.
Those are garbage. But
Yeah.
do you have a preference on chest or dark room?
Let's go chest. Just
Okay.
because I'm actually questioning whether I'll get through this one.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Also, literally all of my items and stuff are breakfast, so I don't know what I've done to my game file. But like Boss Rush just had 2 breakfasts in it, so that's how my day's going right now. Let's see, where is that going? I want to talk about Vast Forecast soon.
Okay.
I feel, yeah, you know what? I feel like now's a good time to talk about it because at this point, people have already clicked off the video and they're like, you know, screw Tyler, I don't want to listen to him anymore. And screw Astro, he's a dweeb. So I want you to be able to talk about Vast Forecast, which I'm just basically going to shut up and you're going to talk about it and you're going to tell people what it is because it's pretty exciting.
All right. Well then, Vast is a game I've been working on for like 9 months, probably.
Has it been that long?
It's been a while. At
Holy
least 8.
crap. That's crazy, dude. I remember when you first started.
Yeah.
Work
And
on it.
when you said like more foliage, I took that to heart. I spammed the heck out of foliage. I put so much dang foliage in that game.
That's great.
But anyways, it's not, okay, let me get this out of the way. It's not a battle.
It's Isaac Battle Royale 2.0.
It's not a battle, okay. Basically, the original idea was a roguelike battle royale, but we decided against that a little bit later because the battle royales are a joke. So,
Hot take from Astro here.
anyways, oh, thank you, Monstro 2, for murdering Carrion Queen. But, yeah, so it's more of like a roguelike that has online competitive multiplayer for up to 100 people. No, I'm kidding.
Where you fight until one person is the last one surviving.
No. But seriously, it's roguelike with online competitive multiplayer. It's still gonna have somewhat battle royale elements, but I totally do not want to market it as one because that would just not be a good idea.
Yeah, and then everybody will start like, oh, another Battle Royale. And let's be honest, by then, like, Battle Royales, we could be done with Battle Royales tomorrow, knowing how the game industry goes, so.
Yeah. But, anyways, the game is, the reason it's called Vast Forecast is it's themed around weather. And each world has random weather events that can change up how the game works. Like there's wind that pushes enemies and you around. And yeah, it's still in progress. We've made a lot of progress. Like the online multiplayer worked, but we disabled it for a bit so we can focus on other stuff. And there are around 90 items, 42 guns, and like all 5 worlds work. So
That's
just
exciting.
a pretty good amount of progress. The alpha is open for anyone to try, but we're gonna lock the keys once we go to beta. So if anyone does want to try it, It's on my itch.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Just go to the Isaac party and then click on my profile.
I'm gonna link like all your crap in my description. I'll have a link to your Discord for Vast Forecast, and like pretty much everything else about it, so people could find it from there. But it's pretty exciting. Like I've looked at it a couple times, and like Astro said, I had played the like original like version that he put out.
Yeah,
and
it's like unrecognizable from like a month ago. So
that's pretty exciting because I'm gonna be honest with you, and I deeply apologize, but I maybe have looked at the Vast Forecast Discord twice since then. So I don't really know what the current game looks like, but if you said, I mean, from when I played, there was like 3 items in the game. And if there's 90 now, then obviously something has drastically gone well in that direction.
Yes, we've gotten to the point where we started adding Roombas that suck in enemies.
That's amazing in every single way. So I may have to. I don't know if there's any way for us to do some kind of video together on Vast Forecast once it is a little bit more ready for some more footage. But I'd be happy to check it out again. Because it was pretty exciting in that very, very original. I don't want to call it a beta because it wasn't really a beta. It's
still an alpha, so
yeah.
if this is alpha, that was like super alpha.
Yeah, the super alpha of Vast Forecast. I mean, the hell, that was when it was not even called Vast Forecast.
Yeah, back when it was called. Well, I'm not even gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't really want to say the old name of it because then it's like, man, people are just gonna roast you in the comment section.
Yeah.
So. But pretty excited. I mean, that's insanely cool that you're making your own game. I feel like growing up, that was always like, there were 2 dreams that I always had in terms of video games, and it'd be awesome to make my own game, but then since that's a lot of work, it would be awesome to be in a game. The making my own game, I feel like that has kind of gone by the wayside. I don't really think I'm ever gonna do that, just because like, in terms of the time that I have and in terms of what my career path is, I just really don't think that making a game is anywhere in the future. But like,
it's a lot of time commitment.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that it's ridiculous, and thus I am not quite willing to hop on board that train anytime soon. But hell, you've made the being in a game a reality. You know, I'm in Isaac now. It may be as a mod, but you know, I play as my character, and every time I do, I'm like, this is the dopest thing ever. Like, even if it's just somebody that modded me in, I am in a game, and that's something that I never, ever, ever thought would be something. So that's always, like, so cool, and I think that it's crazy neat to make your own game. And game dev in general just fascinates me because, you know, in all the coding classes that I've been in, you know, we'll do stuff that you can sometimes, you know, it's like a simulation of something, and you're like, oh yeah, this is really cool because it's kind of like a game, but it's never anything that you can like sit down and legitimately play. So it's different from what I've done to like what actual game dev is, and it's still so fascinating to me to see how those steps work to get to that point.
I don't know if it's the same where you are, but it kind of seems like most of the programming courses that I've seen are like more focused on business than actual like indie game development.
Yeah, it can be. You know, we'll have. I go to a fairly techie school, and they cater to people being dorks to some extent. So there is less of the business aspect of things, but they still, since many of the courses are taken by, you know, business majors as well, it's something that they have to at least put some of a focus into. But I feel like what's being taught even in high schools and such is the business side of coding, and honestly, I'm fine with it. Like, as long as it's being taught somehow, I'm okay with it. I just feel like for someone's first experience with coding, for it to be, oh, take these numbers from this Excel document and add them all up. I feel like nobody cares. Like,
exactly, and that's what I feel about coding. It's really only fun if you're in charge.
a little bit, yeah.
Like,
I can't 100% agree with you on that, but I do somewhat agree, because my issue is, so I'll have people that will tell me, you know, hey, I really, really want to learn to code, but I have no idea what in the world to code. And you can't just tell them, well, code whatever you want, because if they're just learning, how the hell are they going to know what the hell they can do? Like, so it's a fickle journey, I feel, to, like, one, to even teach code, but two, to get people interested in it. I don't think that people realize how much you can do with it.
exactly.
So
It's just weird though, because like if you want to learn how to code, but you want to have fun doing it, at least how I see it, it's kind of like a catch-22, because you don't know what to make, but you need to know what to make in order to actually have fun doing it.
a little bit, yeah. No, it definitely, there's several layers of knowledge needed in order to actually do something of value. Like,
And that's why you start in Scratch, no.
oh yeah, oh, okay. Okay, so here's a good question for you.
Yeah.
So, clearly you've played a lot of games, probably at this
is
point in your
true.
life. Being someone that makes games, I'm sure you've played them. What, if any, do you take away, like, playing games now versus playing games when you were a kid? One, like, were there any games that were inspirations to you as a kid as to what you're doing now? And two, are there things that you learned from other games, or even mistakes that you've, like, noticed that other games did, where you go, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that?
Definitely, and I feel like since Isaac came out in 2014, and I'm not that old, and I got it when it did come out, I was pretty much a child when Isaac came out, and I got it when it came out, so, like, from playing Isaac way back when to playing it now, I've definitely noticed more and more things about the actual design of the game, rather than just, oh, this is a fun game.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But yeah, definitely, playing games does have a huge impact on game development, especially when modding is a big part of the development, I guess.
Well, yeah, because I'm sure that, I mean, even I've had those moments where I go, man, I'd really love to make a mod that does X, Y, and Z. And with you, you probably go, man, I'd really love to make a mod that does X, Y, and Z, and then you just go and make it.
Yeah.
Which is really dope. No, I can't really do that. I mean, I could do that, but
There's
it's a
still the
little
whole
bit
time
more
thing,
difficult.
so
Yeah.
priorities exist, but
Yeah, pretty much. No, that's cool though, because you know, I know that I look at indie devs that put out games. You know, you look at like Enter the Gungeon,
yeah.
which I know you've played. You look at games like that and you go, okay, well, clearly they've taken a little bit of inspiration from Isaac at this point. You know, you can see the inspiration in it. You can see, you know, it's a roguelite, blah, 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 blah.
The headline on like Rock Paper Shotgun or whatever website it was literally described it as a mesh between Throne and Isaac.
Yeah, it's like clearly there was some inspiration being had here. So when you're an Enter the Gungeon dev and you look at your game, and if you don't know, I'm a huge Enter the Gungeon fan. A lot of the times I will rate it above Isaac in terms of my like top roguelites of all time kind of thing. Do you think that they look at a game like Isaac and they're able to go, okay, here's what Isaac did well, so we're gonna take those similar things and then we're just gonna take everything that isn't Isaac and then do that instead. And do you think that then other games then go, okay, well, we're going to look at what Enter the Gungeon did, and it just spirals out of control until eventually we get the best roguelite ever?
That's literally what I do.
Okay. I kind of wanted, I figured, but...
Yeah, I'll be like talking with the other developers of Vast Forecast, and I'll just be like, hey, we should do this. And it's just like, no, Isaac did that and it sucked.
Yeah.
Or, hey, we should do this. And it would be like, yeah, Isaac did that and it worked, so let's do it. And obviously the design of games needs to balance around itself, not just other games.
Yeah, of course.
That definitely is something that goes on.
Yeah, it's like, so
we may eventually have the perfect roguelike.
It's just, it's weird because there's clearly this evolution, so to speak, of games to the point where, you know, people can say, oh, this and this is the greatest game of all time, you know, whether it's something like Pac-Man or Tetris, blah, 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 blah. But when you look at it actually closely, there's no way that any human being is saying that Pac-Man, in terms of, you know, gameplay, is the best game of all time.
If you take away the time, or the time period that
exactly,
then there's a little more to talk about.
Yeah. So, like, you know, for me, I look at, also, I'm super dead on this run. I will be dead shortly.
I'm murdering everyone on the chest, so...
Okay, well, I mean, this is gonna go great then. I'm on the cathedral, and I've lost all 18 of my lives, so...
Alright.
That's how my life is.
The only time I cheated was...
Yo, yeah. You know what? Completely invalid. You cheated. I am dead, but you cheated, so I win. I look at games like Enter the Gungeon, and I see that it follows that same Isaac flowchart, so to speak, of how things go. But then what I like about Gungeon, and what I wish that Isaac did, was then adds in, like, those extra rooms. Like, and I know Isaac has, you know, 30,000 rooms or whatever the stupid number is, but, you know, Gungeon will have where you go in and there's a gun muncher, and you have no idea if there's going to be a gun muncher on the next floor or the floor after that, or if you're not going to see a gun muncher for like 5 runs. There's all those different unique things. You know, Isaac, you go onto the run and you go, it's a guarantee we're going to have an item room on this floor, we're going to have a shop on this floor, we're going to have one of a curse room, an arcade, a challenge room, etc.
Yeah. Just like the not really obscure, but just like, oh, it's this room. I remember this from like 4 runs ago.
Exactly. You know, I feel like, and people always hark on Isaac for being this incredible, you know, very random, every run is different kind of game. And it still is because of the amount of items in it. But the actual, like, gameplay of Isaac stays pretty constant every time.
The difference is how your run affects how you play the game, not in terms of, like, generation.
Exactly.
And Isaac is my favorite game of all time, so I don't want to, like, talk crap about it, but it's not perfect, so.
Yeah. And I feel like there reaches a point where no matter what, you're never going to have the perfect game. Like, you can try over and over and over, but in the end, you're never going to have the perfect game because there's so many, like, people just have different tastes in games. You know, right now, it's everybody loves Isaac, you know, and Ed is capitalizing on that by,
Spelunky
you know,
2, please.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how hyped I am for Spelunky 2.
I know.
You got Ed who's capitalizing on the Isaac craze by putting out Repentance. It's just like, and people are like, oh, why would, and this is actually my last point that I want to talk about before we end here. People are going, oh, why would I pay for Repentance when it's just a free mod? And I'm going, okay, you know, I may not be an economics major, but I understand business to some extent here. If the demand for Anti-Birth and Afterbirth Plus is this high, and the Anti-Birth team is willing to work on porting it to Afterbirth Plus, then wouldn't Ed just be an idiot to not sit and collect the paycheck from that one?
And can I be the person to say, like, it's not a port?
Well, I mean, yeah, and it's not. And there's significantly more that's being added and all kinds of new features. But on its surface, it looks like this is just Anti-Birth being ported.
Yeah, the main draw is that Anti-Birth and Plus are being merged. But there's also going to be new stuff. But the purpose of this the purpose of this DLC is that it's merging Anti-Birth, which is a free mod. But I'm buying it, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then this was kind of, so obviously we're both gonna be buying it.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to touch on from a modder's perspective. So I remember reading when Afterbirth Plus first came out, everybody just like flocked right to, well, what does this mean for Anti-Birth? You know, does this mean that Anti-Birth is going to be rewriting and porting to Afterbirth Plus? Does this mean that they're going to be staying on the side? You know, what implications does this have for Anti-Birth's future? And I remember that people would ask Kilburn and the rest of the team, and they'd be like adamant that Afterbirth Plus is doo-doo, which in a lot of ways it was when it originally first came out. And
I believe that Booster 5 saved Afterbirth Plus.
I agree to some extent.
All right.
I think that it was probably before Booster Pack 5 that saved it, but I think Booster Pack 5 cemented it. That it's at least worth buying. You know, I still think that Delirium is arguably the worst boss in the game. I will go out of my way to never go to that floor because I think it's garbage.
I pretty much never go to Void.
Yeah, I mean, it's just bad. But I just want to know from your perspective as a modder, if you were this adamant about, I'm not porting to Afterbirth Plus, I'm not porting to Afterbirth Plus, what do you think was the mind changer there? And you're allowed to say, because Ed went, hey, Kill, you're getting a fat stack of cash from this. Because I think that that's a big part of it.
I think there are 3 reasons, but the fat stack of cash is probably the biggest one. I think the fat stack of cash goes hand in hand with not necessarily publicity, but more like, this is really cool. The person who made the game I just made a 4-year passion project for wants my mod in the game. And that, even if I wasn't going to get money, was probably enough to be like, sure. Even though, like, it's the difference between Ed reaching out and doing it yourself.
Yeah.
But I think the third reason, like with money and just getting Ed to be the one to reach out, is probably the fact that Afterbirth Plus did change, and even if you do think that it's still not amazing, it's better than those initial thoughts that you had on it.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, at least speaking from Kill's perspective, which, you know, as many people probably don't know, the creator of Anti-Birth, Kilburn, worked directly with Ed on Booster Pack 5.
Yeah.
So he was right in the middle of the game working on it for Booster Pack 5. So it wasn't like there was any bad blood between the Isaac base game and Anti-Birth. It was just kind of a, look, there's no way that this is going to, because they rewrote a lot of the game to fit Anti-Birth, not the other way around.
Yeah.
And you know, you look back on all of the conversations, because, you know, we were supposed to have an Anti-Birth update in February of this year, and then we lost all word on that. It never really happened, and all we got was, you know, we're not porting to Afterbirth Plus, and, you know, the Anti-Birth update will come eventually. And you have to imagine that, like, they didn't just port all of Anti-Birth into the game and have not been working on Repentance for this, like, amount of time. It's not like 2 days before PAX, you know, Kill and Ed sat down and went, ooh, well, how about we make Repentance? Like, they had to have been working on it this entire time. So when you look, like, at the whole list of things here, you know, Booster Pack 5 came out in May or April or something like that. The Booster Pack before that came out even before 2018. I mean, was that in, like, November, December? I'm struggling to remember exact dates, but
a pretty long time ago. I'm pretty sure
it was a good chunk between 4 and 5. So, you know, it makes you wonder if this is, you know, Repentance has been something that they've been planning for a long time, you know, and Ed continues to say over and over in all those blog posts and stuff that, you know, Afterbirth Plus is the last DLC. Afterbirth Plus is the last DLC. But he also said that Afterbirth was the last DLC.
Yeah.
And everyone believed him then, and then he came out with a new one. And it just makes you wonder when the idea of repentance was actually put into people's heads. But
I think my guess is like right after Afterbirth Plus came out, maybe, because like the Anti-Birth update being canceled is probably directly correlated.
That was kind of my thought.
Yeah, with like Kilburn working on Booster 5 and Repentance.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, look at what Booster 5 added and changed. A lot of that is just anti-birth stuff.
Yeah, to some extent, and even before that, because you look at things like School Bag. School Bag was not Booster Pack 5. That was an anti-birth item put in Booster 3 or 4 or something like that.
I think it was 4, but yeah, that's still a long time ago.
Yeah, so clearly, you know, it's not like Ed just went, no, hey, Kilburn, we're stealing your item. Like, I guarantee he was working on it then, too. So, who knows when
especially
Repentance
since, like,
was born.
They use the exact same sprite, and not just the idea.
Yeah, no, it's damn near identical. All right, Astro. Well, this has been a very long video, and I don't want to.
I just started a garbage eat and run.
Oh, I've just been sitting on the main menu for a good 10 minutes.
All right.
That's okay. That's okay.
Well,
good conversations were had. But anyway, buddy, thank you so much for coming in for a video. It was a lot of fun.
Having me.
A lot of fun, and I'm sure that something may come up where we will do something else in the future, whether that be when Vast Forecast is ready to be shown in a YouTube video by somebody that's a little bit bigger and can actually promote it, or whether that's just going to be some other Isaac related thing, or whether it's something completely different. I mean, we'll see over time.
We will see.
Yeah. But everybody, go down in the description right now. Go follow Astro on all of his stuff. I'm going to have literally everything down there. Go join the Vast Forecast Discord to check out the updates they're doing in there. And then I'll also link the site as well. You can go download. I'm assuming you can download the alpha from there and play it? Maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You can do this.
Astro's going, okay, so when's this video going out? I have to have a build by then that actually works? But anyway, that's all good. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. You have a good one, everyone.
All right.
Bye.